Good evening, everyone. Yesterday, I have talked about the social distance, which is the first part of Professor Schumann's acculturation model. And today, I will further move on to discuss the psychological distance, which is the second part of the same model. And today, my time is even more limited than yesterday, and I only have about 10 minutes to make this record. Because tonight I received a message which is about an essay competition called Fengru Cup in our school in Beihang University. So I only have about um, let me think. I only have about 20 days or 15 days left. So I still need to finish my essay, and I absolutely want to participate in this competition, and I hope to get a very great result. Um, so I am very busy with my essays right now. So I only have about 10 minutes to make this video, and after this competition, I mean, in April, after I submitted the essay, I will leave more time for my research notes channel or this overall program. So the second part of psychological distance can be stratified into three different tiers. The first is motivation, the second is attitude, and the third is culture shock. For motivation, motivation means the learner's desire to learn the target language. Um, Learner's desire, you can understand it as the intrinsic motivation and is more effective than external motivation. Uh, I think it, um, I think it's very easy for you to understand because if you really want to learn something, um, then I think you will just figure out a way to do it. But if you refuse to do some certain things, even though your teachers force you to like do your homework, or your parents they encourage you, or uh, they force you to participate in some extracurricular courses, then probably your scores won't have a dramatic improvement. So your intrinsic motivation is more important than the external variables. And the second is the attitude. Um, it's just like positive and negative feelings toward the target language group or culture. And I think I have already talked about this part in the social distance part. And the third is culture shock. So culture shock means emotional stress from adapting to a new culture. So high culture shock means greater psychological distance or means greater psychological pressure. Because just imagine that when you are, wandering in the streets of New York or the Downing Street, um, and you want to chat um, with those with those people living in another country, you think that you have different cultural background, and you are not probably fluent in speaking English, then you might think the culture shock is very huge, and like there is a kind of course or a kind of academic research field which is called the intercultural communication, which initially was developed by American scholars because after the World War II, a lot of American people they started to work overseas, and the globalization is becoming a major trend in this world. So, in order to help American workers to quickly adapt to some overseas environment and to adapt to the culture shock, some American scholars they started to develop the a new research field, which is called the intercultural communication. So I think culture shock, absolutely, everyone will encounter this. Even though I think or even though I think I am a person who is or who has been strongly influenced by Western culture, I would absolutely encounter tremendous culture shock when I learn and live for example, in Britain. Um, so I think, but culture shock is not the decisive factor. Your motivation, your attitude would have a bigger would have a bigger influence on you. So this is about the psychological distance. Well, as you can see that both in Professor Krashen's input model or Professor Schumann's acculturation model, you can see that positive emotions or say attitude or positive attitudes or positive emotions are, buried in those models. Just like my essay has already mentioned that at the very beginning, even after the introduction of positive psychology into the field of education, um, positive emotions in the field of second language acquisition is still buried in some, relatively border models, which includes the input model and the acculturation model proposed by those two scholars that we have already mentioned above. So as you can see, this is just like the preliminary stage of the positive emotions in the second language acquisition field. And later, with the seminal research which was done by Professor Dewell and McIntyre, foreign language enjoyment emerged as a new concept or a new construct. So I know that it was an essay which was published in the year of 2014, and it's about the name is about the two faces of Janus. I think it's indeed a kind of seminal essay. It's a groundbreaking one. So at that time, positive emotions or foreign language enjoyment just emerged as a new concept. So here you can see that we haven't mentioned about foreign language enjoyment. And well, I think this is basically today, because I still need to work on my essays, and it's still late at night. So tomorrow I move to paragraph 3 and paragraph 4 and probably paragraph 5, because tomorrow is Friday and I think I'll have more time because tomorrow I don't have too many courses, and tomorrow I would have enough time to write my essays. So tomorrow I think I will move to the following paragraphs, and I will introduce more about my research notes. And probably I will introduce the principal component analysis, which is a way of examine your questionnaire, especially in the design of a new questionnaire or a scale. So there are a lot of new things that I would like to introduce, but I have to admit that time is really, really limited, especially I am preparing for the essay competition, which is very important for me because I want to apply to some foreign schools, the world leading schools, to learn applied linguistics and second language acquisition. So participating in such competitions is very, very important for me, and I will absolutely spare no effort to write my essays, and I would just manage to have a very great result. And this is today, and this is MSY's research notes. And see you tomorrow. Good night.